Mr. Minister, ladies and gentlemen. It's a pleasure to be here. I'd like to say happy anniversary to Kjell and the Norfund team. We have grown to know each other over the past 5 or 6 years. And I think one of the reasons is what you see in the left-hand corner of this slide, as you've seen today as well. We have a set of values that coincide at many levels. Our company is a young company, as is the solar industry. It's moving extremely fast, and I believe we are as well. And from having been a company that has been concentrating more or less in Europe on the back of the feed-in tariff regime, we are now operational in 6 countries and are on the ground pursuing opportunities in almost 25 countries. So this is a truly international business. In fact, we have 25 nationalities in our offices down at Skøyen, out of 60 people. Now, I'm going to make this presentation fairly light for you because I think you're looking forward to a cup of coffee as I am. So, you can rest your eyes on some nice pictures while I'll talk a bit. This is South Africa, and in fact, we were participating, assisting the South African government with some advice on how to develop their renewable program all the way back in 2009, and we were rewarded with, in competition, with some projects, and they have been operational now, the first one calculated for 4 years. So next time you fly from Joburg to Cape Town, 5 minutes after the middle of the trip, you will look to your right and you will see the plant from 35,000 feet. It's a beautiful site. The other 2 single-axis trackers, and they're performing well. 99.9% effectiveness, fuel independent, and just imagine what's going to happen to the tariff when the project has repaid their debt. You're going to get electricity for free, well, at least pretty close. We have Aquafria in Honduras, but I think I like to spend a minute or 2 on ASEV in Rwanda. The sort of the saying for Africa is that everything takes time and a bit longer. And normally you spend, like we've done in Mali, several years to develop projects. But in Rwanda, we discovered a project in November in 2013, I believe. Together with Norfund, we took a look at this and say, are we going to do it? Are we not going to do it? This is in Central Africa. Well, we decided to go ahead and do it. And 2 weeks before the financial closure, we had some bumps. We got together over the weekend and we found a solution. And then we closed the project, meaning that we have funds available in February. And 4 months later, our Prime Minister, Erna Solberg, came to Rwanda to open the project. It's a world record. It's a record in Africa. And it shows that it can be done very quickly. But you have to have partners. And I think here I'm going to commend Norfund. You have to have partners that are solution-oriented, not looking for only the problems. Those are the companies that are mainly run by lawyers. Not internally, but outside. You have to be light-footed. You have to move around, because you have to find new solutions. And then you have to have a sense of urgency, with a sprinkle of patience when it is required. Keep that in mind. These projects that I've been covering now are all operational and are delivering electricity and will be for the next 20, 25 years, maybe another 10 years at the tail end. Some of the projects that we are pursuing right now are in our backlog. We expect financial closure shortly. Egypt, that is 400 megawatt nearby the Aswan Dam. It will be financially closed very soon and will be connected then over the next year and a half. It's a fantastic project and it's a tremendous job creator. Just on our project, we will have close to 4,000 people engaged, where they learn skill sets that then actually can deploy on other opportunities down the road. We know this because this is what we did in South Africa. Round 4 South Africa, there is some movement now, as you've seen in the press lately, and I hope we can pick up that one as well. It has been slightly delayed, but also here we are together with Norfund and KLP. That's a brave pension fund In fact, I'm sitting on the inside. I don't think it's brave at all. So I think you all that are in that business should copy KLP. Mozambique, Honduras, projects that are fairly small, but still significant. In fact, just to mention it, Rwanda was 10% of the total installed capacity in Rwanda. That was 7 or 8 megawatts. So that's big, but it's small, but still necessary to create jobs. Mozambique, Honduras, important projects, but are having some challenges. Mozambique, of course, have gone through a tremendous challenge. Their economy is shrinking. They have an inflation around 30%. Electricity prices are going up, and those things have to be settled before we actually enter into our contracts. It seems to be sorting itself out. Now, if anybody believes that what we're doing is easy, we would have a lot of competitors everywhere. We have some, but this is pretty much a fairly complicated business to put together. In some instances, we have up to 100 agreements in place to protect all the parties, all the stakeholders. Political risk, I say predictability here. I should have said lack of predictability because it doesn't normally follow a natural sequence. So you have to take that into account, and you have to understand it, and you have to actually be able to match the risk that you're taking with your ability to control it. Land acquisition and possible resettlement. Well, land, particularly in Africa, is something precious, is something that is being protected. Sometimes you have the right sometimes to the land, sometimes by ownership. Sometimes you just have the right to the land because you have lived there for generations. It's not easy to put up a huge solar plant there. Currency risk convertibility. Until Egypt actually let the pound float, you couldn't buy dollars, even though the tariff was linked to dollars. You got paid in EGP, but you couldn't find the dollar. That's a risk. Now that has been sorted, but still, sometimes you have to take out a warranty or a guarantee to cover that business. Security and also changing market conditions. Now, the good news in our business is that a part of the changing market conditions is that the cost of solar power has dropped 85% since I joined the business back in 2009. And in parallel to that, the kilowatt-hour price that we can produce power for now is actually less than what it costs to distribute power in Norway without paying for the electricity. Think about that. Thank you.